right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something powerful yet practical, which is how to actually become smarter in just 30 days. Not in some unrealistic genius transformation way, but in a structured, focused, and very real improvement of how you think, learn, and make.
Yeah, and I like that you said real because most people here become smarter and they imagine IQ tests or some natural talent, when in reality, intelligence is mostly about habits, exposure, and how consistently you challenge your brain every single day.
Exactly. And if we break it down, the first thing people need to understand is that your brain physically changes based on what you do daily, which means if you spend 30 days consuming junk content, you'll feel slower. But if you spend 30 days reading, thinking, and practicing, you will literally rewire your mind.
And that leads into the first step, which is controlling your input, because you cannot become smarter if your daily diet is just short videos, distractions, and random scrolling that trains your brain to avoid deep thinking.
Right, so for the first week, the focus should be on detoxing your mind, meaning reducing useless content and replacing it with things like books, educational videos, or even podcasts that force you to pay attention and think longer than 10 seconds.
And here's something people don't realize. Reading even just 10 pages a day consistently is more powerful than watching hours of passive content, because reading forces your brain to imagine, process, and connect ideas actively.
Now, moving into the second week, once your input is cleaner, you need to start producing, because intelligence grows faster when you create, not just consume. So things like writing summaries, explaining ideas out loud, or even teaching someone else become extremely important.
Yeah, and teaching is actually one of the most underrated tools, because when you try to explain something simply, you suddenly realize what you don't understand. And that gap is exactly where growth happens.
And I think this is where journaling comes in, because writing your thoughts daily, even if it's messy, trains your brain to organize ideas, question assumptions, and become more clear and structured in thinking.
Moving into the third week, this is where things get more challenging, because now you introduce problem solving, which could be puzzles, math problems, coding, or even analyzing real-life situations deeply instead of reacting emotionally.
Yeah, and this is the phase where people quit because thinking deeply is uncomfortable, but that discomfort is literally your brain growing stronger, just like muscles when you exercise.
And another powerful habit here is asking better questions, because smarter people are not the ones who have all the answers, but the ones who consistently ask deeper, more meaningful questions about everything they encounter.
Exactly. Instead of just accepting information, you start asking, why does this work? What's missing here? Or how can this be improved? And that shift alone makes a huge difference in how intelligent you appear and actually become.
Now, in the final week, the focus should be on connecting knowledge, because intelligence is not just knowing many things, but linking ideas together in a way that creates new insights and perspectives.
And this is where things get exciting because you start seeing patterns, like how something you read in a book connects to a real life situation, or how a concept from one field applies to another.
Another key habit here is reflection, meaning at the end of each day, you take a few minutes to think about what you learned, what challenged you, and how your thinking's changing over time.
And let's not forget consistency, because doing all of this intensely for 2 days and then stopping will give you nothing. But doing it consistently for 30 days will genuinely transform how your brain works. So,
Also, people underestimate sleep and physical health, because your brain cannot function at a high level if you are constantly tired, dehydrated, or mentally overloaded.
yeah, and even something as simple as walking while thinking can improve your clarity because movement actually helps your brain process information more effectively.
So if we summarize everything, becoming smarter in 30 days is not about some secret trick, but about controlling your input, producing your own thoughts, solving problems, and connecting ideas consistently. Because at the end of the day, intelligence is not fixed, it's trained, and the way you train it determines the person you become.
And that's it for today. Simple plan, powerful results, and now it's up to you to actually apply it.
See you in the next one.
And the best part is that once you build these habits, you don't just become smarter for 30 days. You create a system that keeps making you smarter for the rest of your life.
And honestly, that's the real goal. Not just short-term improvement, but becoming someone who learns faster, thinks deeper, and adapts better in any situation.
So if you're listening to this, don't overcomplicate it. Just start with one habit today. Maybe reading, maybe writing, and build from there step by step.
Because at the end of the day, intelligence is not fixed, it's trained, and the way you train it determines the person you become.
And that's it for today. Simple plan, powerful results, and now it's up to you to actually apply it.
See you in the next one.